Okay, so thank you once again for joining us. My name's Tom Pickerel. I'm the Executive Director of the Global Tuna Alliance, and also on the line from our end is Albert Arthur, who is the Director of Outreach and Engagement for the Global Tuna Alliance. And we also have one of our members, Andy Bolton, who works at Waitrose, one of our supermarkets that's based in the UK. So Andy's joined us to sort of be able to offer a perspective from the retail sector. So thanks very much for taking the time to join us. The purpose of this roundtable meeting is really, it's an opportunity for us to present our asks of WCPFC delegates at the upcoming 19th session. We've been doing these roundtables for the last 2 years now in advance of the Tuna RFMO meetings, and really it's no more than a 30-minute session where we have an opportunity to present to you interested delegations. And like I mentioned before, there's no requirement or expectation for you to respond in any way. This is meant to be just an opportunity for you to sort of directly hear the views of Global Tuna Alliance members. Just to begin, I thought it'd be useful just to explain who is the Global Tuna Alliance. You may not be that familiar with us. We're what's known as a pre-competitive collaboration of seafood companies with an interest in tuna sustainability. And you can see from this slide here, there's over 50 members from around the world. You can see we represent retail sector, processing, brands. Collectively, we about 30% of the global tuna catch goes through our members, and that equates to about $2.3 billion dock price, or just over $9 billion at end of the chain. So this is based on 2021 figures. There's probably a little bit of double counting there, but there's also some sort of conservative estimates there. But really, the scale of our partnership is pretty vast, and these are all companies that have an interest in actually coming together to collaborate on using sort of commercial leverage, if possible, to improve tuna fisheries management. As you can probably guess, the Western and Central Pacific Ocean is of considerable importance to our membership. The WCPO produces over half of the world's tuna, and particularly of interest to the market, about 85% of the global catch of MSC, or Marine Stewardship Council certified tuna. So that's particularly important for companies like Waitrose, with Andy on the line, who have made public commitments to sourcing certified seafood. And for skipjack, at least a quarter of MSC labeled skipjack sales are known to come from the WCPO. So the area is probably the most important of the tuna RFMOs for the marketplace. Our asks of the WCPFC can sort of be limited to these 3 areas. The first one, or the primary ask, is around harvest strategies, and sort of the overarching ask here is to really just accelerate development and implementation of harvest strategies. We're also keen to see electronic monitoring advanced in not just the WCPFC, but in all tuna RFMOs. And we've also got a particular interest in labour standards for crew on fishing vessels, and the opportunity that this meeting of the WCPFC has to actually implement a CMM on labour standards is something that we're particularly interested in. So what's the issue on harvest strategies? Well, from our perspective, obviously it's extremely positive that all the tropical and temperate tunas in the WCPFC region are currently not overfished, with overfishing not occurring, so all in the green. And our desire is to see this maintained going forward in time. And so we believe one key way of doing that is by the implementation of harvest strategies. And this graphic here is sort of titled "The Future?" About the potential risks of that good health status of the stocks if harvest strategies are not implemented. And this is a real concern for the market. There's plenty of people who are very happy at this moment in time that the stocks are in the green, but they're also, I would say, well versed in the risks of stocks actually losing that good status, and appreciate the benefits of having that security net of harvest strategies. In addition to keeping the stocks in the green, there is a real risk of MSC certifications being suspended. At present, there's 25 MSC certified tuna fisheries in the region, plus there's 12 more currently seeking certification. And according to the MSC, that's over 2 million tons of certified and potentially certified tuna that obviously is of great interest to the market. As I mentioned, there is a real risk of these certifications being suspended from the program if management procedures are not implemented. Now, these fisheries are not too big to fail. In the Northeast Atlantic, mackerel, blue whiting, and Atlanto-Scandian herring lost their MSC certification, and it was a total of 2.5 million tons of product. And this was from very similar reasons for the suspension. And many companies have come together, over 50 companies have come together under the North Atlantic Pelagic Advocacy Group to actually try to rectify that situation. So it's a real concern for the market, and it does have considerable impacts on the public commitments that have been made by the market around certified seafood. So what are we calling for at the WCPFC meeting? Well, firstly, we want the adoption and implementation without delay of a management procedure for skipjack. Now, we know that this is on the cards. Work was carried out throughout the year. There was the science management dialogue meeting, and further work has been done. So there is the ability for this to happen. Now, we also want to see target reference points for big eye and yellowfin. We understand that the work plan was not advanced greatly during this year, and so only interim target reference points are going to be able to be implemented at this meeting. So we really would like to see a revised work plan for actually achieving target reference points in 2023. Again, similar for South Pacific albacore, the deadline that was in the original work plan is not going to be met. We understand that. So we would like to see a revised work plan that will achieve this in 2023. And finally, we believe the Science Management Dialogue Group is a very effective platform. It's used in other tuna RFMOs to great success. And so we would very much like to see this established as a permanent working group. Now, we are aware that the Pacific Island Forum Fisheries Agency has proposed a CMM for skipjack, and this will consist of a repeating 3-year cycle that's with a trial run of 2 cycles. So it's up to that period. And the actual proposal notes that it will give CCMs the opportunity to adapt or to adopt and work with the skipjack tuna management procedure on an interim basis. So there is that tabled. Now, our view is that we believe that the management procedure should be adopted at this meeting and implemented. While the stock is considered healthy and in the green, the stock has been declining over the long term, as you can see from that graph on the left. Now, I'm not suggesting that it's overfished or anything like that. It's not, but there are challenges on the horizon, particularly climate change, the impacts of that which are not fully understood, shifts in distribution. There's all sorts of economic issues. Many of these are drivers of overfishing. Without a management procedure in place, there is a risk that the fisheries managers are unable or unwilling to make the difficult decisions, and that could actually lead to issues with the stock. So what we're saying is implementing a management procedure now would act to mitigate these risks and safeguard the fishery, particularly as it's in a good state at the moment, for the future. Our second point is around electronic monitoring. I think everyone's aware of the benefits of electronic monitoring. It is critical to have comprehensive observer coverage, and EM provides one way of doing that. Many of the WCPFC members do not meet the minimum 5% observer coverage requirement for longline, particularly. That was adopted way back in 2007. And electronic monitoring could provide a means of achieving that. Also, I think we're all aware of the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on observer coverage. We know that was particularly felt in the WCPO. Had there been minimum standards for electronic monitoring and the ability to actually utilize this, then the impact would, of course, have been considerably less. So there's lots of advantages for having electronic monitoring in place. What we're calling for is the adoption of a CMM for an electronic monitoring program, as well as associated minimum standards. And we know that this aligns with the call to action from many other observers, and I believe a couple of the other members of the WCPFC as well. Our final ask is around labour standards for crew. The seafood market and their customers are increasingly concerned about labour conditions, human rights abuses on board fishing vessels. This is an issue that is not going away. It is, and it needs addressing. Everyone is behind the need to do this. We are really pleased to see that the Crew Welfare Intersessional Working Group has been working on this, and we applaud the leadership of New Zealand and Indonesia. And we understand that there will be a discussion around transitioning the resolution into a formal binding CMM in December. So quite simply, we can wholly support the proposed CMM on labour standards, and we urge all delegates at WCPFC to embrace that and just demonstrate the leadership around this that the Intersessional Working Group has been doing over the last couple of years. It's not just me speaking, of course. Our individual partners are also speaking up, and several of them have written to delegations, particularly the countries that they maybe have businesses in or they source tuna from. And what we've got here is just a couple of examples of some of the GTA partners and what they are publicly saying around the upcoming WCPFC meeting. Norpac is an American business specializing in tuna, and you can see there their concerns are around the potential loss of MSC certification and how that would devastate their sales and sever relationships. Culinary Collaborations, which is a company that supplies the retail and the food service sector in America, their calls to action is around they need the stocks to remain in the green for them to continue sourcing from them. So that's one of the reasons why they are supporting the calls to action for harvest management, comprehensive harvest strategies, stroke management procedures. Princes, which is part of the Mitsubishi Group in Europe and the UK, they're a brand of tuna. They note that the long-term sustainability of tuna stocks is a business critical issue, and they are specifically calling for the adoption and implementation without delay of a management procedure for skipjack. LDH Limited, which is one of the big suppliers to the retail sector, they highlight the short-term risk of MSC certification suspension by the lack of harvest strategies, but they also call out the potential impacts on the future of the resource itself. So that was just a couple of messages from some of our partners that they've agreed that can go out publicly. So these are their public calls to actions. We just wanted to give you sort of a flavour of them from different areas of the supply chain. Just to sort of wrap up sort of the take-home message from me, the market, the seafood market, that's retailers, processors, suppliers, they want to see management procedures implemented to ensure that the stocks remain in the green. It's really important for them to see the stocks in the green, but to have them maintained. A CMM for electronic monitoring, as well as minimum standards, is another key ask for people. Transparency and traceability is increasingly important for the market, and electronic monitoring allows our goal of 100% observer coverage on industrial tuna vessels to be achieved. And finally, as I mentioned, the importance of labour, crew safety, human rights is just such a high priority for the market, and the WCPFC really are in a super opportunity to support the proposed CMM and actually put down a marker for that can be adopted by other tuna RFMOs. So we really want to see that one. So that's our asks, and I just want to take the opportunity to ask Andy from Waitrose if you'd like to add anything.
Yeah, hi Tom. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. I've just put down a little bit just to talk to you about. As a retailer and a member of the GTA, Waitrose is committed to sourcing sustainable seafood. And as Tom said, we have a commitment to sell only certified seafood by 2025. It's extremely important to us. It's important to our customers. And we, where we are able to demonstrate sustainability as it stands now, we share that with our customers and we flag that, and they value that, and they use it as a signpost to buy the products that they want. This year we won MSC Fish Counter of the Year for the 5th year in a row, and we won an MSC Marketing Award too. So winning 2 awards this year was a fantastic accolade for what we do. Fish categories in Waitrose are a key destination for our customers. They value the range and quality we offer. Tuna from the Western Central Pacific is central to that offer and the range that we give to our customers. We've got, as a retailer, we've got a 5% market share. As a fish category, we have a 15% market share. So it's 3 times as important, and it's a real destination for customers choosing to shop at Waitrose. Last year, tuna from the Western Central Pacific gave us, Waitrose, the opportunity to be the first retailer in the UK to offer customers MSC certified chilled pre-packed yellowfin tuna. And we're really grateful for that opportunity to be able to do that. And we've been growing the number of stores that's been in since launch, and we continue to do so. And hopefully we'll have it in all of our stores in not too distant future. Sustainable seafood is more important than ever to our customers. They contact us and write to us asking that we ensure the fish we sell is sustainably sourced. Being able to demonstrate sustainable seafood is key. We recognise that tuna stocks in the Western Central Pacific are not overfished and are healthy, but as a partner in GTA and a retailer with significant market share, we ask that the WCPFC agrees a work plan for setting target reference points for yellowfin tuna in particular, actually, for us, and that's the most significant product that we buy from the Western Central Pacific. Crew standards are equally important, and with worker welfare, it's something that we focused on in the last year and looked at, and we're keen to address that within the UK and around the world and the whole supply base that we take from. And as Tom said, electronic monitoring is vitally important. Traceability, transparency of what we do, we're constantly challenged on that. So electronic monitoring is vitally important in being able to demonstrate that transparency and traceability to our customers and to others. To use the word again, sustainability seafood is vitally important to us. We hope that you're able to make progress in the forthcoming meeting, and thank you for listening. Over to you, Tom.
Thanks very much, Andy. So that's it. We, like I say, the purpose of the roundtable is really just to give an opportunity for us and our partners to speak directly to WCPFC delegates. It's not easy for them to attend the meetings, particularly as you can imagine, in the run up to Christmas. We will be at the WCPFC meeting though, and we'd be very happy to meet up, have a chat, discuss our asks, discuss how we can potentially work together going forward. So I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for joining us. Really do appreciate that. And if you do have any questions at all, there's no expectation, of course. So if you have any questions for us, obviously, please feel free to shout now. No? Okay. Well, thank you once again for joining. We do appreciate it, and hopefully be able to say hello in person in Vietnam in a couple of weeks. Thanks very much.
And thank you for a very interesting presentation. Thanks.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andy. That was brilliant.
No worries. I thought, do you know what, Tom? I thought